how AI is impacting people personally. And this is a really good website for this. It's called Blood in the Machine, and they're doing a series called AI Killed My Job, which is fascinating, like whether you are pro or anti artificial intelligence. Real life stories about how AI is impacting people's working lives. So we have one on translators, one on tech workers, and copywriters. Copywriters are specifically people who will write not only this, but they'll write like the copy for advertising. So if you've ever seen Mad Men, for example, when they create the text, when they come up with taglines, when they come up with the words that go into an advert, that's a copywriter. Copywriters also do things like websites. If I'm putting together a sales webpage, I used to hire a copywriter. If I was putting together an email sales sequence, I used to hire an email copywriter. And for a sales page, I'd probably pay £2,000, £3,000. I do not do that myself anymore. I use Claude. So Claude does all of my sales material. And that seems to be the case for a lot of people in the industry. So this blood in the machine, I was forced to use AI until the day I was laid off. Copywriters reveal how AI has decimated their industry. This is another story of AI making real impact industries. So a lot of people saying, oh no, it's not. No, it's just going to make new jobs and any jobs being lost by the impact of COVID or something like that. This is here. This is taking jobs. So copywriters were one of the first to have their jobs targeted by AI firms 3 years into the AI era. AI didn't kill my current job, but most of my job is now training AI to do a job I would have previously trained humans to do, he told me. This is somebody who's still got a job, Jacques. It's killed the job I used to have, which I used to climb into my current role. He was concerned for himself as well as for many of his junior peers. As he told me, I have no idea how entry-level developers, support agents or copywriters are supposed to become senior devs, support managers or marketers when the experience required to ascend is no longer available. This is a wide problem in legal firms. This is going to be a problem in any industry where you are expected to do grunt work for the first few years. When you are doing the grunt work for the seniors, you are putting in your reps. You are sharpening your weapons. You are learning how to do this stuff by just doing it again. So in legal professions, you're doing discovery. So it's a huge amount of research, for example. It's going through documentation and the legal statutes and working out how everything fits together. That's pattern matching on huge corpuses of written data. That is something AI is really good at. So that's work taken from legal clerks. They're not going to have to do that anymore. We either need less legal clerks or find something else for them. They're not going to get the experience of spending thousands of hours doing that drudge work, which will hone their intuition and hone their ability to move up. That's just been taken away. And that's not just the case in legal. That's going to be the case in copywriting. You'll be doing less important copy, lots of variations, passing them up to a senior who will choose, refine, help you learn what good copy is versus what bad copy. Now an AI can spit out 100 different variations, which go straight to the senior. You can also have the AI run tests beforehand to find the first. You just put as many variations into Google ads or Facebook ads as possible and let the algorithm work out the best one. You do not necessarily need an entry-level person doing that grunt work. It's a huge issue in every industry. This is how AI impacts jobs. It does not wholesale replace a job. It's not that Stephen in accounts loses a job and there is a computer sitting on his desk and AI is taking his job. No, it's going to chip away at tasks inside of a job. And then when enough of those tasks have been removed from that job, we don't need to hire as many people. Labor is one of the biggest expenses for most businesses. And if you have a choice between getting the same amount of work done but having 10 times less people, it's a pretty easy choice when you're running a business. Those tasks are going to be chipped down. Let's say your job has 10 tasks and 7 of them can be done by AI. Only 3 need a human. Over your organization, that kind of means we need to hire less people. Instead of hiring 10 people, we're going to hire 3 and have AI do the rest. It's going to be more insidious than just, it took my job. It's going to be, oh, it took my tasks, and then, oh, we don't need as many people. That's going to kick the bottom out from a lot of industries. When we checked back in with Jacques 6 months later, his company had laid him off. I was let go the week before Thanksgiving. Now that AI was good enough, Jacques helped train the AI that has now replaced him. He elaborated. Chatbots came in and made it so my job was managing the bots instead of a team. Once the bots were sufficiently trained, I was out. I prided myself on being the best. The company was actually awarded a Best Support award by G2. We had a reputation for excellence that will now blend in with the rest of the pack of chatbots that may or may not have a human reviewing them and making tweaks. Yeah, so it looks like Jacques was bought into, his job became training his successor. and his successor was AI. And within 6 months, that AI was good enough to replace him, and you did not need that human person. And he says here it's trained to offer good support. A lot of the time, the AIs can provide as good or superior, because a lot of people do hide behind this defense of, oh, I get that it's cheap and that's why I've been replaced. It's crap and I'm better. A lot of the time, we're not. A lot of the time, the AIs can do a better job than us. And when something can do a better job and it's cheaper, economically, there's no good reason to keep that person in play. For ethical reasons, 100%. But from a pure economic view, if the AI is better and cheaper, there's no reason to keep that human staff member. You either need to repurpose them within your organization or they get let go. And that's what we're going to see across a lot of industries. It is the reality of the situation. Here's a simple document in your work. Write your business idea. Jack says, what I want to see is the same people overseeing the AI and being 10 times more productive. So instead of AI replacement, we have AI augmentation, which means you can work with AIs and do a lot more. The person good at working with the AIs, yeah, maybe their job is safe and they're doing 10 times as much. That means we don't need to hire as many people. We don't need as many people in the organization as a whole, because now we have 10x operators and working with artificial intelligence. So we can put a hiring freeze on, not bring in entry-level people, so we won't have people coming in later, because our seniors can now do 10 times the work. Why would we bother bringing in juniors? Obviously, forward thinking is, oh, we will need juniors because we need to train them up into seniors later. If that work has been taken and there's no work for juniors, how are they going to learn? Do we just give them work so they can learn, even if they're slower and worse than the AIs? And then, so the counter argument to this will be, no, we're going to sell 10 times as much, do 10 times as much work. That relies on the economy growing. If a company is automating and doing really well, they're able to supply a huge amount more of whatever it is they do, whether it's a service, building stuff, whatever value they're providing. Now they're able to produce 10 times as much. The market needs to support that. There needs to be a demand for that. Otherwise, the price of what they are supplying will collapse, especially for other industries. Other businesses are doing it as well. So we will require demand to increase at the same time as our ability to supply value. That is something we're definitely not seeing, because our economies are, in the West at least, they are stagnant. Like in the UK, they celebrate a 0.5% increase in GDP. That's nothing. Systemically, we need to produce demand. Otherwise, AI just leads to oversupply and value collapses. Jacques has relocated to Mexico, where the cost of living is cheaper. While he looks for new work, he's not optimistic. As he puts it, it's getting dark out there, man. So I'm going to put all of these stories, I'll link to them all actually, because they're quite interesting. I've got one on tech workers. These are anecdotal, obviously, but I think it is useful to remind ourselves that this is happening to real people. This is not just when we see those numbers on, 9,000 people axed from Microsoft due to AI. We have to remember that's 9,000 people with families heading into Christmas. So I think these anecdotal stories are useful, as long as we keep a grip of the larger picture.